Shades of Blue, episode 2. A lot went down tonight, and we are going to talk about it coming up next.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
I love this song.
Me too. It just puts you in the right mood,
right?
though, right?
It doesn't it? It's like it's calming.
It is.
But at the same time, it shows you how like you're really going through it with someone, which is a lot that's happening on this
and
episode.
it's just all coming at once,
Yes.
so we're just going to take the rain.
We're just gonna
take
have
it.
to take it.
And let it come.
So a lot went down in this episode. We're definitely going to talk about that. And I just want to say shout out and thank you to everyone that kind of was rocking with me last week. It was just me, and I know the review was a little short, like 10 minutes, but I appreciate you guys for watching that. And welcome back this week. Once again, I'm Lynneisha, and you guys can see me on Instagram and Twitter at Lynneisha_33. And I have a partner tonight, so I'm not by myself.
Yes, I'm Taquila, everyone. Hello, AfterBuzzers. You can find me at Taquila_I am.
Alrighty, so let's get into this.
Yes, let's do.
All right, so Wozniak and Harley. That's like they have this weird like father-daughter duo thing going on.
Especially when he lost his child. And
Yeah.
even in the episode, he says that, Harley would move heaven and hell for Christina.
Right.
And then he turns around and said, I would do the same for you.
Yeah.
So we see the lines between how he calls her a rat and a liar, but then also it's that love there
That
still.
love,
so
yeah,
he
it's still
can't
there,
really.
and it's strong.
It
yeah,
is.
he can't really let go of that.
No,
yeah,
not at all.
It was the episode started with Harley, kind of in a shower thinking about like the last words she heard from him, like, you're a rat.
Exactly.
I will never trust you again. Like
That
that kind of, I know. I was like, that has to hurt.
It does. I'm
Yeah.
sure it does. Because you've seen, again, the rain, the
Yeah,
shower
right,
falls.
everything.
You're just letting it know it's all coming all together. It's all coming.
It's all coming down, like literally. But moving forward with that, because he feels like she's a rat and that she can't be trusted anymore. But like as we see, we're going through this and seeing like I feel like he's in a predicament, like he doesn't want to trust her, but at the same time he kind of has to, because of everything that's still going on with the team, and she's the only one that really knows everything that's going on. Everyone else doesn't really know. So
I think that piggybacks off of when they were at the restaurant and stall. The detective comes in and Wozniak's giving his little side notes, and then Harley's like, well, translation is XYZ, XYZ.
Right.
So you still see that connectedness.
That
He's like, I
connection that
still
they have,
brought
like,
you here. Right. So I do definitely agree that it's not a relationship where he can just let go fully.
Right,
It's the only really person that knows everything and knows him inside and out, and will actually be there by him. But the trust is broken right now.
Yeah. And it's hard to kind of get that back. But let's see. Do we want to talk? I don't want to talk about Stahl just yet. He's kind of
let's
crazy.
wait for him to the end. Yeah,
that's a lot. He had a lot going on.
was.
I said like last week, like he is a creeper to me. He's a creep.
I had the same feeling, especially last season when he brought that little lady in that looked like Harley and started doing this. This is not going to end well.
Yeah,
it's not
at
end
all,
well.
and it didn't. Okay, but we'll wait on that. We have some more to talk about.
Definitely.
So let's talk about the whole like Mr. Bianchi, the mob boss, and everything that's going on with that.
I'm excited to see who's all entangled in it. So
this is getting
when we're
interesting.
first watching, I'm like, ooh, Julia has something to do about this judge letting Bianchi go.
Yeah.
And at first, it was just something I kind of thought about.
Yeah.
But then once we got to the end, we seen it was true.
For me, I was just thinking Bianchi mob boss. I'm like, ooh, he got the judge in his pocket.
Back
like,
in the day, in the 50s in New York, like the mobs run the town.
Like they run the town, they run the police, they run the law system, like everything. So I was like, okay. And I really knew like something was up with this judge because the DA guy, who is super fine to me.
He is. Yes. Good move, J-Lo.
Listen.
Good move. Oh, Harley. Sorry.
Right.
Good move, Harley.
For Harley. And just a little bit. I just want to talk about James for a little bit. That's the DA.
Okay.
So he had a really good beard last season, and this one was a little bit thinner. And for me, it takes away from his sexy a little bit, not a lot, just a little.
And
We're gonna be girls. We're gonna talk about this
bit.
podcast.
Definitely. So, like you said, I love that it was grown in and it was full.
Yeah.
It's something to make you look like manly,
Right?
just strong, and
Yeah.
just like, hope you smell good too. Just all those things. So yeah.
Even now, 'cause
but
it's a
now
drink
it
now.
made him look like a little bit more innocent, a little bit
he looked
younger,
softer a little bit.
He did, yes.
But when they were laying in bed, I was like, oh, okay. Can we? This is NBC, right? We can't go.
Good
further.
morning.
But anyway,
No.
okay. Yeah. But okay. So anyway, they're kind of discussing the case and everything. and how everything is going to go. And so he was trying to be a little bit easy on her, even though he's on the opposite side,
Right.
trying to be easy on her and letting her be able to get away with the lie that she basically kind of has to tell
Right.
them. And boom, that should have been case closed. Like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. You know, you guys have probable cause or whatever. And then the judge steps in. It's like, that is very rare. And the judge will only step in if like they really, really need to. So that was a riff. Like, I was like, oh.
Because he stepped in and closed the case himself.
yeah.
Like he was the
like,
attorney, like, no.
Right. So did you see him? Did you do that? I was like, okay.
And it wasn't actually blood on the side.
Right.
So did you see him with the gun?
Did the victim accuse him, Mr. Bianchi? Did he identify him? And he was going in. I was like, oh, yep. Someone is in his pockets.
Exactly.
And then when Harley got on the elevator.
Oh, yes.
And then as soon as I was like, we already know how these things are going to go.
Right.
But it's still good. And
The intensity
intensity of it to see how it's going to play out. But I was like, here we go. Here goes the intimidation scene. You know what I mean?
And it was strong, though. I was feeling a little heart palpitations for Harley myself.
Because
Like,
she's looking around like,
and it was just Bianchi and his two bodyguards, and you by yourself, no lock and key, anything. Like, I was scared for Harley for a second.
It's like, you're in a situation almost where it's like, no way out.
Right.
And then when she tries to get out, like, she was trying to play it off like, okay, the elevator's about to open. We're going to get on our floor. Slide on out the elevator, and then boom, he stops it.
Yes. And I loved how they just close up on him hitting that red button just to stop it. And it was just like, oh, made me jump for a second. Like, okay, Harley about to lose her life. It's too early in the season and the show. Like, man, come on. Harley got to pull him through.
Definitely. I was like, okay, what's going to happen? Like, nothing's going to happen, but at the same time, nothing bad, like, but.
Right.
That anticipation is like really good. So yeah, the writers of the show, they do really well at that, because it's like some scenes it's predictable, you kind of know how it's going to end out, or that it's not going to end that bad,
right?
But the intensity that they add to it to make you still question it, it's like, these writers are really good. I love this show.
It always leaves you on the edge of your seat because you never really know which way it's going to go. That's always,
it's like they always can have some type of like little twist or whatever. But speaking of, so then we actually find out that it's not Bianchi who has the judge in his pocket, but Julia, right? The politician who now, so we starting to find out a little bit more about Julia now in this episode, because I said that last week. Like, they introduced her a little bit, so now we'll see exactly who she is, where she came from, and now we see like the relationship she had with Wozniak.
Exactly.
Like, they were police officers together, and then she became chief, and she worked the rankings.
And I think,
but yeah, go ahead.
It showed like the level of the relationship too, because it kind of feel like when she moved up, Harley came the new Julia to Wozniak. So it was like you see how close they were. She watched him, helped him grieve his daughter's death every year. Excuse me. And then now you see Harley moved into that position. Yeah. And I kind of sense some tension between Harley and Julia too.
No,
like,
I did
I don't
too.
know if they're playing on the same team yet. That's going to be good to see in the future.
So I think because when she went to, I guess, the event or the officer that she was looking for, so basically when she found out that it was Julia, like, kind of had her hands in it, so like, I need to know why. Like, I need the dirt on this, find out everything. So the judge has a little background where he got a DUI, and he hit a lady.
Yeah,
like,
she broke her leg.
Yeah, that would be bad for a judge. So Julia made that go away. In order for, her to kind of move up, or just for her benefit, you know what I mean? So when Harley found that out and looking for the officer that arrested them, or
Sadowski. Yes.
Looking for that officer, goes there, and then she wasn't expecting to see Julia there.
No, not at all.
And it like had to try to like play it off, like, okay, I'm really trying to take you down right now, but
she tried to reverse it and got caught. Julia was like, Harley?
Okay, girl.
Hi. Exactly. Exactly.
And it's like, oh, just coming to see you, and you know what I mean, like to try like to hopefully not ruffle Julia's feathers, to make her
alert.
That something like Harley's looking into her. You know what I mean? So.
But it was good to see that he was there too. So I love how quick Harley connects the dots on things. I don't know if Wozniak believed her quite yet, but I do love how she just pieces everything together too. Yeah.
And he probably, the thing with him that I like is he'll be able to separate that if he knows that, if it's making sense. You know what I mean? Like, Julia, I may not really rock with you right now. I mean, not Julia, but Harley, like, because I'm upset with you and everything like that. But if everything she's saying, if he sees it adding up as well, he'll trust it.
He will, definitely.
You know what I mean? Because I feel like he can put those two things.
And that's where we see his character is more on that too, the loyalty and the trust and following his people. So
he's so big on loyalty. He's one of those.
I definitely agree on that.
he's so crazy, but at the same time, you know, he's like the good crazy. Like, you never want to be on his bad side,
Right?
But
Definitely.
if you're on his good side, it's like
You're
you know
winning.
he will take care of you. He will look out for you. Like, literally
Exactly.
have your back, ride or die.
Just like when he was in the car with Tess, and Tess was kind of like, okay, look, I took the envelope, and he was like,
Right.
okay, how long was you going to tell me? I was
Like,
waiting
I
3
knew.
minutes, but I wait 6 hours,
Right.
right? But you know,
I
you
know.
still tell me. So again, just how he is loyal, how he doesn't miss a beat, because
Right.
he's seen it happen,
Yeah.
but just play the
And
field and
this,
just
like,
wait and see.
parental thing he has over there,
Yes.
because to me, like, that sound like a parent. Like, I saw you do
It
that. Like, parents
did.
always know their kids when they're doing something behind their back or something. You know what I
Yes,
mean? So I
they
just
do.
felt like that was that moment. Like, I knew you did that.
In
I
the
was just
same way
waiting.
he just handled Loman when he was getting nervous about the
internal affairs officer, the new one,
yes,
yeah.
and he came and was like, what I do? And you see when the internal affairs officer came to talk to Wozniak in the office, just a little breeze, that's it. It was a breeze through of a conversation. He didn't pay him no mind and kept
Right.
walking. So you see
But the
again,
other one was
all nervous.
But Loman picked up on him pretty quickly, though, because the other one, Carlos, was just like, let him buy his food. Like, he's like,
That'd have been
"No,
me.
that's-"
Like, thank you. I'm hungry all the time. Get that
That
meal.
probably would have been me too. But then I'm always suspect of people like, why you here? What you want?
Oh,
who
see.
are you? Who sent you?
Yeah.
And I feel like that's how Loman was. Like, why are you being so nice? What's happening here? You
Right.
know what I mean? And then he had that little intuition, which is good. So at first, I would always kind of feel like he's not really cut out to work his way into this team. But his
Very true.
intuition is good, though.
Very, very true.
So I don't know.
And I hope we get to see more of his character and kind of
Yeah.
build him up this season, because that's very true going back to last season and
Yeah.
just how he was trying to be a follower and just fill out the whole team and what he should do. Then once he got in the situation of that killing,
Yeah.
then you see how everyone stepped up. So he was like, okay, now I'm loyal to everyone too. So
Yeah,
he went
because he sees
straight
how
to Waz.
how they work and everything. Yeah. Oh man. Should we talk about this crazy stall?
Yeah, I guess we can get to him because he's like threefold. So many different
Man,
areas
so
in this
many.
episode. Where do you want-
I saw just so many different levels of like emotion from him.
Yes.
Like
Let's
angry,
see.
evil, like almost all of them except happy. No, I know he had a little, a little moment
Yeah.
of vindication there.
He thought until he showed up to court for his custody of his
Yeah.
son of that trial, and then the videos came out, and then
Yeah.
that's the rage that we seen, right? So
because he was trying to, he wants Wozniak to flip on Julia, but
Right.
Wozniak's like, he's not here for it. He's not trying to do it. He's like, okay, I'm gonna push your hand. I'm gonna force you into it. So when he was playing that little game with his son, like he put all the pieces together, and the
Exactly.
way he was looking, I was like, he's so weird.
he
But, like,
did.
right where you want him, and blah blah blah. I'm like, okay. So he's just playing little fiddle, trying to be like the little puppet master with Woz and Harley, trying to put them still against each other at sometimes. You know what I
Right.
mean? Just playing puppet master. But so when he kind of, okay, I have to push their hand. So let me freeze the accounts. I mean, he tried to do something
He
soft. I
did.
will say that he
did.
started off kind of easy, something that's small, like, okay, see, I can do this. See what the power I have. Now let's play my game.
Right.
But he's dealing with Wozniak.
Yeah, and
Who's
I
also-
love crazy
Yeah.
too, to another level. And that's why I was about to say I love how Wozniak came back at him, because
Yeah.
you weren't expecting going into a case for joint
Yeah.
custody of your child, anything, especially on that level, to come out.
Yeah.
And then your ex-wife sees it. So that just put ammunition on her side to take her son away,
Yeah.
which we assume they led us to believe would
That
happen.
happened.
Yeah, so his enrage is going to be vicious.
Oh,
It's
definitely.
gonna
And then
be
the fact that
vicious.
because he was totally blindsided by that.
Right.
It wasn't like a threat like Wozniak was like, oh, so you're going to freeze my accounts? You better be careful. Watch what I do to you, blah, blah, blah. It just was like, all of a sudden you go to court like, oh, okay, I'm probably going to win and we're going to have a good court case. Yay. Oh.
that rail
This
got
video?
pulled quick.
Yeah. And then for Wozniak to be standing right next to his son, to Stall's son.
Yeah, I got
I
scared
was
of that
like,
part
yeah,
too. Like,
he's-
Wozniak,
look,
don't
Ray
hurt the
Liotta is
baby, don't hurt the
king
boy.
of like that kind of creep, scary look.
Yes.
Like, I don't know, please don't kill me or anyone
Uh-huh.
else I know. Like, you know what I
Please.
mean? Because he was just standing there like, you know. And then also in like at first when he was like, when he walked up to him and was like, he got so close to his face and he was like talking about Harley like, oh, she was a cop before you made her a rat. And at first I thought he was just making a statement, but then I realized like, no, yeah, she planted this camera. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
she's smart. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Before you turned her against me,
She was
she's still like on my side. You know
loyal,
what I mean?
always.
Yeah.
And then also with Stahl, I think, like he said, just the he finally said that he was obsessed with Harlee at the end where they're tit for tat, and he just pops up in her house because, again, of his anger that he found the wire. And I love their transaction because you see him trying to battle his obsession, like mentally, but still keep his control and power that he has. But then you see Harlee trying to push that limit. And she like, oh, it's going to go there. Yeah. It's going to go there because now she knows your end game. And like she said, and which I believe has the control right now. Because now your story's told. I know you're obsessed with me. I know it.
Yeah. And she, like how she flipped it back on him and made him admit to that, made him actually say it out loud. Like, well, you're the profile. This is your job. So what is your assessment of it, of yourself?
That was the killer. Come back.
Say obsession. I was like, she's strong though, even though she was scared too, because at the end they showed her like
exactly she was
like
shaking.
How much she was shaking. But I was like, she was strong in that moment because I would have been so terrified. But she still used her woman power. Like, I know that you want me, so I know that I still, even though I'm scared, I still have a little bit of an advantage here.
Definitely.
So. Listen, woman power, go.
But I think it's going to be even more intense because, towards the end, he was like, nothing is off limits now.
Yeah. Oh,
because he in his feelings. He in his feelings all the way now.
I was gonna say that. I'm like, so he's gonna keep pushing, and trying to make them do what they want, and so Wozniak, they're gonna retaliate or whatever. Like, that's just gonna make him go harder. So for him to like show up at that's what I was like, because what am I missing? What am I forgetting about for like Saul? So like I said, so that was gonna make him go harder, right? Him showing or leaving that tape for Wozniak's wife, Melinda Devine.
We did. Yes, let's backtrack to that.
Because I was like, what else? Because I'm like his rage and what else? So yeah.
So I thought maybe he was in there waiting for Woz to get home with his wife.
Too.
Like,
I thought like something was like
the way you came in, lights off. He was like, did the electric bill get cut off too? First the credit cards, now the electric. What's up? So he's like, okay, no, it wasn't that. And then she just sitting, that scorn face when you don't have no words, just.
And I was like, she looks a little scared. She looks shook. Like, what's going on here? I'm still trying to figure it out.
I was waiting for somebody to pop up.
Yeah, me too. Like, I'm just waiting for someone. And then she was like, was he the only one? And I'm like, only one what?
Who?
Like, I'm over there like, Wozniak, like, girl, what you talk about? And so then she plays the tape, and then I had put in my notes because I totally kind of forgot to mention this last week about when that got exposed about the relationship with Wozniak and Donnie, the internal affairs officer, well, the first one. So I was like, okay, they played the tape. I want to be with you. Like, I want to work this out. Like, whoa, where did that come from?
And that's also because how Woz is. He thinks everything through. So I really can't wait for that to fully come out to see, was it a real relationship or was he just trying to, trying to use him and be on the scene because they were doing some illegal things as police.
Exactly,
so,
because since they didn't make it a really like a big deal, I don't feel like they hinted at that too much because I didn't, or maybe I just didn't pick up on it. But I don't feel like I saw that. So I think I agree with you. Like, I think it may turn into just him trying to use Donnie at that point. Right. But still, like... That's well, Wozniak went below the belt, so Saul just felt like he had to come again as well. But like, that's low to like.
It is, and
expose that to his wife.
You see, if we want to get on Woz still, and then go back to Stahl at the end, that fight. Oh yeah, and he came out of nowhere because I was thinking it was going to be Bianchi and his team coming for Harlee, or even him because it just looked like something was about to happen to Stahl, but then it was Woz. And I think he probably would have choked him out if it wasn't for Harlee.
And like I said, going back to like the writers, because it's like, okay, Stahl is a big key in this, so I don't think he could die right now. Right. But at the same time, it was like, oh, is he gonna kill him?
His last breath, his face is red, he can't breathe.
Yeah, I was like, this is why he's gone. And then, like, you look at Wozniak, like, he's pissed. Like, you just came for my family. I mean, I know I came for yours, but still, you just came for my family, so I'm gonna come get you. Right. And I was like, oh, this is done.
And that's back to where him and Tess were in the car talking, and he tells Tess specifically, him and Lisa have been through everything. I think he said they hit some potholes, but you just got to keep swinging.
Keep going.
I don't know about this one though. He had that. I hope he don't strike out because Lisa looked pretty mad. She looked pretty mad.
She was, Linda. And I think there are others because, like I said, with Julie, I'm not sure if they were close. Yeah. Or no, because I believe they made a reference to it last episode. But so I think they might have had something going on as well.
That's good.
So I think Wozniak might be a little thought.
Yeah. Out in Brooklyn streets, right?
Out in these Brooklyn streets, is getting it everywhere. But we'll find out more about that as it goes on. But then, Harlee popped out with because I was like, who is this with the gun? Because you heard the click first.
Exactly.
And I'm like, what is going on?
And then I was a little scared, like, why is she holding it to Woz's head?
Yeah.
Like,
But it was like that's the only way to make him stop.
That was the only to get him out of his trance because he was blacked
done.
out.
Yeah.
Yes,
he was. When people are like. They can
in
use
that rage.
In that rage, and they can use that excuse like temporarily insane. Because I think that's where he was.
Yes, he was.
He had to snap out of it. And that was the only way she could get him to do that.
But you see, the only thing I think what happened was when she was like, Christina's inside, and we know she wasn't. That's what happened because then again, that parental father loving relationship that the three of them have is like, okay, I would never want Christina to see this side of me. Let me pull back, but it's not over.
It's not at all. And like we said, we started off with that Bruno Mars song because they were playing it through the episode, and just because it's like this team and everything, they are going through a storm.
Yes,
right now they are going through it. Let me see. Was there anything we missed that we were? Let's see. Because I know. But just talking about, so like they keep referencing the Hurricane Sandy,
right?
Like, so there was a lot of stuff that happened during that time, and I think they were saying like, with Mr. Bianchi, the evidence got lost during the hurricane.
Oh yes,
for his case and things like that. And
right.
then like now we kind of see like, well maybe Julie just tampered with that evidence, and that was the perfect time for her to or she got him to do it,
right,
to get rid of those files or whatever she needed, or even if she has them in her possession, but to get them out of the public eye, or so that people can look up those records.
And if you look at the parallel level of it, is she was captain at that time, so you replace her with Woz now, and maybe Sadowski was Harley, and you have them two relationships or correlations as well. So we'll get more story about the Hurricane Sandy and what happened, of course, in time.
Definitely,
but just the parallel of those relationships, maybe that'll be interesting to see if it comes out.
Yeah, it's like, I didn't even look at it
just
that
a little
way.
bit, yeah.
That's what's good. You know what I mean? To have that partner.
It is. I got you.
Because I did not think about the parallels of that. But so we'll find out more about that, because to see exactly what she did with that. Like, so that was basically like the perfect excuse, kind of like, there was a storm, everything got flooded, like all this, you know what I mean, went away. But Harley is on her. So I'm interested to see how that, like we said earlier, that hostility that they kind of have with each other, to see how that kind of turns, because she's going to know eventually, like she's going to sense like Harley is on her tail.
And I think that's going to draw a bridge on Woz soon. And he's going to have to choose. That'll be the hard part if it does happen to that, because Harley's for her and for Woz in the current team now, and Julia's not anymore. So it's kind of like, for Woz's angle, he loves both women, he's loyal, and before Harley became a rat to both of them, so it's like he has the love still. But where do you go? Like, how far does your loyalty go? Like, what is the breaker? If there even is ever a breaker in your loyalty, or do you just ride it out because that's how we begin, that's how we're family, and whatever happens, happens. We all go down.
That's why he seems like to be that type.
I think so,
more
too.
Of like,
I think
I'm
so,
like,
too.
if the boat's sinking, he's going with it. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I get from him. But we'll see, like we said, as everything goes on. So what do you think for next week? The ending of this episode says someone will pay. So that has me intrigued. Like, who is that someone? And we've seen going into it, I'm more curious to get back to Harley and Miguel. I think I'm mispronouncing it. Miguel. Christina's father. Yeah, Miguel.
Because last episode where she just, with her bare hands, took him out, broke his neck.
I know, I was saying the same thing, because I was like, I knew, I'm like, okay, I know she's gonna kill him, but how, like, her gun is here, like, I just did not think it was gonna be with her bare hands.
And again, they did that on close up so we could see it and get the emotion and intensity of it.
That was a protective mother. That was a woman scorned. That was like all
years
of
that pent up anger and abuse. It was.
Man,
so I'm more interested in seeing how that goes. Somebody is on to her about it, and I think it's stalled, and I don't want to know how he gets to it.
He is, because he kind of referenced that when they were at the end, and when they were kind of, you could just make things go away or something like that. He referenced that. But just backtracking to the beginning of the episode when Harley was taking her shower, and then she noticed, like, one of her shower pieces missing, like the hook.
Yes.
And I was like, oh.
Somebody.
You know what I mean? Because like that's she ripped that off to wrap up Miguel, and so then it was like, okay, well, if this is missing, it's probably with him or in a trail. Like, it could possibly.
Is that what she picked up under the bed? What was under the bed?
So that's what she picked up. Because at first I was like, oh.
Yeah.
So this could be a missing link to kind of maybe possibly catch her up. You know what I mean?
True.
You could still have some, you've touched it to hang it up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but then when she found it, I was like, oh, okay.
That's where,
we're good. You know what I mean? But I still, stall is on her. So, but I don't know. Hopefully, hopefully he doesn't dig too deep with that or, use that against her because he knows that the hurt and pain of it. And because of his obsession, maybe he can be, he'll have a little more, what am I trying to say? Like, he'll just be more caring about that and won't try to really hurt her because he know that'll really hurt. I think just let it go.
I'm with you. But I think I'm a little bit more gritty. I think his obsession is going to drive him insane. So he's going to try to hurt her everywhere he can. It's not intentionally, but just because he's obsessed and he can't have her. I'm sorry, but just because he can't, because we already seen the extreme that he went to, just getting that woman to be her and wanting her to say that she's Harley. Yeah. Like, that's crazy.
That is
on another
crazy.
level.
Yeah.
So, I think his obsession is going to allow Harley to win or have an edge all the time.
Yeah. Now, what did you, because I mentioned, I expressed how I felt about it when he so after Wozniak kind of exposed him with the prostitute or the lady he has to impersonating Harley, and I was like, okay, you know that Wozniak knows. You know someone knows your little secret now, and you still have this woman come over. Like when you were first watching it last week,
right?
How did you feel when she came back?
I was a little nervous, especially when he was like, well, what did you tell them when they questioned you? And she was like, oh, nothing. She just played it mellow. Like, I was a little nervous for her. I was waiting to see her end up in the alley or somewhere.
Right. Me too, because I was like...
Because he can't, his cards are beginning to be shown, and he can't lose his aces. He got to hold those tight. So I was just like, ooh, she about to be over soon, darn.
Yeah, because at first I was like, really, dude? Like, we know your little secret. You're still going to do this? Like, that's really crazy. But then it made sense, like you said, because he was like, oh, okay. Yeah. I see what he's doing now.
He wanted to see what was told so he can cover up or be prepared.
Yeah, or be
if something
prepared.
Came for
yeah,
exactly.
So he knows exactly what's going down with that because he was probably totally blindsided by that, too. Like, didn't even know that they knew about that, So.
Oh, well, and now everything came through because he knows how now, especially.
Right, now
so that's part of the enrage that he went through earlier.
Oh, so then that'll take us back to, because sometimes we just forget things when we're talking. But that'll take us back to when he told Harley, like, oh, you thought that, he felt like that their trust was broken. I don't know what trust he thought they had, but he kind of felt like it was broken once, she put that camera in there, like, you were watching me, like, I wasn't really watching you like that, or maybe not so much trust, but a respect, you know what I mean? Like, I respected you enough not to really watch you, even though I'm, doing all this stuff and I need to watch you, I'm not,
That's true, yeah. He was hurt because it actually happened, and he had video, I think, like he said, he was trying to watch her, just her moves, and if she was telling him the truth or not, not necessarily about actions or what she's doing in personal life and things of that nature. So, I do agree about that, yes.
But he's like, oh, now I'm really going to be on. I'm closer than you think. So
nothing is off limits. Like, ooh, wonder what that means.
I can't wait to see this unfold, to see what everything that he does with that. It's like this show is just kind of full of crazies. I'm realizing.
But I love it. I really do.
Maybe that makes us a little.
I was just about to say, are we crazy too?
Because listen, when this show first came out last season, and they said Ray Liotta, I was like sold. I didn't even need to know. I felt like I didn't need to know anything about it. But I was like, it was dealing with police and Ray Liotta. I'm there.
I was the opposite.
Really?
So I was like, another police one? Gosh. So I waited till like June. I did just binge the season. My friend actually was like, you gotta watch it. It's amazing. So I was like, okay, she's loyal. She was a friend. I couldn't trust her word. So I was like, okay. Watching it would call her the next day like, oh, you were right on the money with that. This is good. Yeah. Okay. So
some people are like that because I like a lot of the but a lot of the movies that he's on. Goodfellas.
Yes,
you know what I mean? Like,
good actor, great actor.
Great actor. And he kind of always kind of plays that role.
He does.
Even in like, Karina, that movie where he was like a little scary to me. And that was like a family.
It was. And he's still like the odd man.
Yeah, he's still like odd man. Still something weird about him. Still something kind of like you don't want to cross him. You know what I mean? He still always has this little something.
That eerie. Like, it's not too bright. It's too off. Like, something always. Right?
So, so he had me sold in that. So, and I say that to say I just love his character.
Yes.
In Shades of Blue. I love it. Like you said, like I said earlier, like you don't want to be on his bad side, but it's probably still dangerous to be on the good side, but it's a safe place.
You're protected.
To be, right. It's a safe place to be. You are protected. Yeah. So, So next week we will just see what's going on. I'm interested to see how this is going to play out with Woz and Julia because eventually it's feeling like he's going to have to rat.
I think so.
He's going to have to turn into a rat. So. I don't know how he's going to deal with that internally. Right. You know what I mean? And I feel like it's going to be drug out throughout the season, but each episode we're going to get a little bit closer to him getting closer to the point where he's just gonna have to say, forget it, and I have to rat her out.
He held his own right now when they were, again, at the beginning at breakfast with Stahl, and he was
Yeah.
trying to get that information out to him. I think, though, we're going to see Julia's going to be in too deep.
Yeah.
Like we said at the beginning, you in with the mob. We don't know what's else after that. Like,
Yeah.
do or die is death, basically. So I think she's in too deep, or whatever her end game is. Either Waz is going to have to tell, he's going to just snitch,
Yeah.
for a lack of a better word, or she's going to bring him on to whatever scheme or plan that she has going on. I think so. Because
That'd be
again,
a
it
good
goes back
place,
to him
too.
and his loyalty. It's going to be hard. We're going to see him go through it and the emotions and try to decide. But I think she's going to maybe present him with the offer he's not going to be able to give up.
Ooh, that is.
We'll see.
We will see. I feel like
will.
we're just gonna end it on that because that made me. Ooh, okay.
We will see.
So we will see. So that's all we have for tonight, guys.
Yes.
So make sure you guys join us next week, and we will do this all again. And like I said, you guys can hit me up on Instagram and on Twitter at Lynneisha_33.
Instagram and Twitter at Taquila_IAM.
All right, and we will see you guys next week. Bye bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.